This is the book of Luke, chapter 11 and verse 11. It says, if a son shall ask bread of any of you that is a father, will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he for a fish give him a serpent? This is about seniority. Seniority in your walk with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because you got some brothers operating in the spirit of Cain. They operating in the spirit of Cain, but under the identity of an elder. But an elder is not just by age. An elder is identified by his walk, by his knowledge, his wisdom, his understanding, and his ability to teach and manifest the truth through the scriptures. So it says, if a son shall ask bread, and the bread of life is Yahweh Shai. So you got a young man searching out the truth by the scriptures. Say, hey man, I'm gonna change my life. I'm not walking the way I used to walk anymore. But you have that one elder by age. The whole time you was going off as a youngster, this particular elder would say things like, oh, I've been down that road before. I done walked that walk before. You don't want to go there. You don't want to end up like me. But he never taught you about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. He was just connecting himself to you with cords. He was putting cords in you so that he can stay hooked onto you because he saw a light in you. But then Yahweh Shai called you. And you say, now I want the bread of life. I don't want this wickedness anymore. I don't want to die the death without trying to get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. You find other elders who are righteous men teaching according to the scriptures about the prophecies and salvation. So now you're asking for bread. You're asking for the bread of life, which is Yahweh Shai. Will he give him a stone? So you got the elder now who had hooks in you in your old way. He had hooks in your old ways. But you broke those hooks through Yahweh Shai. So now each time that you bringing out bread, you getting the bread of life. And he's still offering you stones. That's the spirit of Cain. The brother is jealous of the fruits that you manifesting, and so he seeks to slay you behind the scenes. You notice that by his countenance. Everything contradictory to the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And for a minute you think like, oh, damn, this brother just need the truth. This brother need the truth. So you preach the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to this brother. Say, hey, I'm changed. This is what helped me. And he reject the word. I'm an elder. I'm older than you. I done been there, done that. I done walked that road. The Lord don't save. That's basically what he's saying. He don't save. He cast me out. He cursed me. So let me ruin your walk. Let me take away your faith. You can't take away my faith if it was written for me to be faithful. Will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he for a fish give him a serpent? We know the serpent is connected to guile. That's guile. The serpent is guile. Double tongues. Fish is representing flow. Clean fish is representing flow. Flowing streams. But the serpent is double-minded. He double-tongued. All right, that's the spirit of Cain. I got a couple of scriptures I want to bring out. Salakia, bear with me just momentarily. Salakia. Here we go. Right here, I'm going to grab the account of Paul. When he experienced the spirit of Yahushai, he didn't experience necessarily the body of Yahushai, but he experienced the spirit. This is the book of Acts, chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, and as he journeyed, speaking about Paul, and as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? That's the spirit convicting Paul in that very moment of going against the grain. The spirit of Yahushai wasn't in bodily form at that time. So you got a brother who see your bodily form manifest in the spirit, and he gonna come against you. What I have in my particular walk right now is what Paul called a thorn in his flesh. The complete opposite. Everything you do to manifest spirit, you got another person of a different spirit doing the exact opposite right in your face. Family. Whereas one time you had this spirit, but you got called out. I got called out of that spirit. And now I preach the word. I want to say, hey, man, this is the word I'm living by. This is the truth according to the scriptures. And that particular spirit just can't get it. It rejected it at first, saying, oh, it's just folly. But then after you walk in it for so long, you see that it's not meant for that person. So you got to pray through Yahushai that he will shine the light on them like he shined that light on Paul, like he shined it on you. He shined it on me. But I wasn't necessarily rejecting the spirit. I just wasn't prepared or mature enough to receive it at the time. Brothers grow up Christian, but I wasn't prepared to receive it and see where I was really going off according to the scriptures until brothers brought him out, breaking them down right. All right, it says, and he fell to the earth and heard a voice saying, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? That was the conviction. This is Paul. He said, who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Yahushai, whom thou persecutest. And this is the point right here. He tells him, it is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. That's a cold metaphor. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. Imagine Paul in some sandals, right? Kicking the thorns of some very dangerous plants. He just kicking thorns. Yahushua is telling him it's hard. It's going to be hard for you to contradict this wisdom. It's going to be hard for you to go against what I'm about to show you. If you refuse it at this point, it's not meant for you, but I chose you. Yahushua chose Paul. He chose me. He chose the brothers who taught me, who woke me up to the truth. But Yahushua is telling them it's hard for thee to kick against the pricks. A barefoot man, a man in sandals, kicking thorns, man, going against wisdom. He just telling them it's going to be hard for you to go against wisdom once I convict you. But Paul was scared. Look what he said. And it says, trembling. That shows his fear. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. Some people don't have any fear of the Lord. They got fear of consequences of what man gonna do to them. You catch hell in the world, a man got fear of what man is gonna do to him, but no man really fear the Lord. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And he trembling and astonished said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? That's the right thing to say. What wilt thou have me to do? When you hear the voice of Yahushai and he tell you to preach and teach, then that's what you have to do, especially if you convicted in your heart. If you're not convicted in your heart to teach and to preach, then you're not going to teach and preach. And that's okay. Everybody is not meant to teach and preach. I'm not the coldest and best teacher and preacher, but if I'm convicted, then I must do it. Because if I know to do right and I don't do it, it's sin to me. I'm not the coldest teacher and preacher, but if I'm convicted in the spirit to bring out points, then I'm going to bring out points. It don't matter how I bring the points out. As long as I'm not going off and breaking the scriptures down the wrong way. This is through the Spirit right here, man. What wilt thou have me to do? Because he was convicted. Look, and the Lord said unto him, arise and go to the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do. That was obedience right there. This was highlighting Paul's obedience when hearing the voice. But remember, I told you brothers is operating in the spirit of Cain. They see you manifesting good works and they get jealous of your good works. Instead of praying for the Spirit, they prey on you. Prey. Got a brother praying on you because he knew you in another life before Yahushua called you. Anything that happened with Paul before this point right here that's on this screen, anything that Paul did before Yahushua called him is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Arise. Yahushua says, arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do. I'm going to skip down to 8 because Paul was obedient. Unlike Jonah, I'm gonna go over to the book of Jonah. We see what happened to Jonah. And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, meaning Yahushua opened his eyes to the truth, he saw no man. But they led him by the hand, talking about the angels, into Damascus. Salakia, no, it's talking about the men that was with him. He could not see because his eyes was open to the truth of Yahushua. So when you see that glory, man, he was blinded. Now I'm going to jump over to the book of Jonah. Bear with me. It's the book of Jonah. Chapter 1, it says Jonah's disobedience. Because Paul was obedient. This is Jonah's obedience. This is starting at 1. It says, now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it. This is the same charge that Paul got. Did he not get the same charge or a similar charge? It says, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee. You see what Paul did, right? You see what Paul did? Paul arose up. He was blind, but he went on his mission that Yahushua put him on, man. Some brothers is doing what Jonah did, man. But Jonah rose up to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord and went down to Joppa. And he found a ship going to Tarshish, so he paid the fare thereof and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. This is his disobedience manifesting in his world, in his surroundings. Jonah is disobeying the Lord, jumping on a ship to flee away from what the Lord charged him to do. And look at his world crumbling around him, man. Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man to his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea to lighten it of them. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. You see what I'm saying? He think that he don't have a care in the world. So I'm going to just flee from the presence of the Lord and I'm going to fall asleep. Meaning he's unaware of what the hell going on. He don't see all the turmoil that he causing the people around him, man. His spiritual light was turned off, man. Lights on, but nobody home, man. And we know people like that, man. Sleepwalking, zombies, man. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, what meanest thou, O sleeper? Wake your ass up, man. It's a wicked spirit on this ship, man. Though it's a spirit of the Lord, but there's some wickedness going on, man. O sleeper, arise, saying, get your ass up, man. Call upon thy God. Call upon thy power. If so be that the Most High will think upon us that we perish not. Some people will make light of that fact right there, that his spiritual light was off, and the men told him to get his ass up. Get your ass up and teach. Some people think being awake means your eyes is open, man. Jonah's eyes, lights on, nobody home, man. They were saying, turn that damn light on, man. Wake your ass up. Turn that light on. What's going on? It wasn't anything going on till you showed up, man. That we perish not. And they said, everyone to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. They said when Jonah came on the ship, that's when that wicked spirit that tossed the sea came on us. Then said they unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us. What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? What is thy country, and what people art thou? The story goes on, man. He says, I am a Hebrew, and I fear Yahweh, the power of heaven, which made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid. All right, because it's the power of the Hebrews, man. They were exceedingly afraid and said unto him, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of Yahweh, because he had told them. But picture a man don't tell you. He fleeing from his calling in the Lord. The Lord convicted him, but he said, I'm going to just leave my spiritual light turned off. I don't get convicted. I convict other people. Matter of fact, when you teach the word, or when you give a damn about the word, I'm going to interrupt your words every time. Every time you want to bring out a lesson, I'm going to come and interrupt you, bro. I'm going to come and show myself I was around him. Ha, 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 ha. I'm lollygagging and grab-assing around him. He trying to do a lesson. Lights on, nobody home, man. Then were the men exceedingly afraid and said unto him, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of Yahweh, because he had told them. Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm to us? All right, you got a man in can't say in the camp, but you got a man near to you, right? Folly all day, all night. You don't give a damn about the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You could bring the words out right in front of his face. Lights on, nobody home, right? And he said unto them, Salakia, that the sea may be calm unto us, for the sea wrought and was tempestuous. And he said unto them, take me up and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm unto you. He's basically saying, I know I need to get on my job, man. I need to go and preach this word. So get me out of your sight, and the Lord is going to deal with me accordingly. I disobeyed the Lord. He's saying he's taking accountability at that time. Some brothers don't have any accountability. They want to cast it onto everybody else. Same thing that happened with Adam and Eve. Adam ate the fruit from his wife, blamed his wife when Yahweh showed up. Cain and Abel. When Cain killed Abel, the Lord showed up to Cain and said, where's your brother Abel? His blood is crying out to the ground. Crying out from the ground. And Cain tried to finesse the Lord. He said, am I my brother's keeper? That's the serpent right there. That's guile. That's the serpent's tongue right there. Guile was already in the world. You got some brothers operating under that and need to be freed from it. If they can hear the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, they'll be free from it. But if you just don't get it, you won't get it. Hey, don't stop the next man from trying to get the truth, man. So he says, take me up and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake, this great tempestuous is upon you. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land. They didn't want to be charged with murder. Basically, this is why they're doing some righteous men. They didn't want to get charged with murder. But they could not, for the sea wrought and was tempestuous against them. Wherefore they cried unto Yahweh and said, we beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish, for this man's is life, and lay not upon us innocent blood, for thou, O Lord, hast done as it pleased thee. I'm going to stop at 15. It says, so they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her raging. As soon as they threw Jonah into the sea and separated from them, they separated from the disobedience, right? Because that's what this is about. It's about being convicted or not. And it's about obeying or not. Jonah was being disobedient. And when the men knew that he was disobedient and they separated themselves from him, everything got better, man. Jonah went and teached the word and preached the word. He still had a little bit of inconsistency in him, but you got to read the story to know what happened. So from there, I'm going to go over to Cain, because this is about the spirit of Cain. Brothers is mad that you bringing out fruit because the Lord charged you to bring out fruit. And you got brothers sowing tares in your field, man. There's brothers sowing tares in the field through ignorance at first. But once it's knowledge, once you get knowledge of the truth, then it's disobedience at that point, man. So it's no longer ignorance, bro. After a while, ignorance becomes disobedience because you know the truth. You know the brother is walking. You know he not going off purposely. Ain't nobody perfect, man. But you know a brother repenting to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and begging mercy all the time, man. We're going to go back to the book of Genesis. Shalakia. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 4. So the Lord had pronounced his judgment on Cain, and Cain said in this Genesis 4:13, this is after he murdered his brother, try to riz the Lord. He tried to riz up the Lord, saying, am I my brother's keeper? This is 4:13. He says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from my face shall I be hid. Salakia, from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So now he took a life, but he was afraid to have his life taken, right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. You know what I'm saying? That part. So he's afraid for his life. And the Lord said unto him, Salakia. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. He still had love for his creation, but the Lord had another thing in mind, man. Keep reading, and he raised up a new brother called Seth, where the righteous seed came through, went on to Noah them. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. That's the point right there. 16, it says, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. Do you see the separation that's happening here? It's about separation, man. You got to separate the wheat from the tares, man. The wheat and the tares cannot abide in the same place forever, man. And you expose yourself by not repenting and coming back to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Either you can't or you refuse to. When we say you can't, that means you're a reprobate. The Lord chose you as a wicked vessel. He's going to destroy you. That's a fact, right? It says, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. That's my point right there. Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. He couldn't stay. You can't stay wicked. You can't stay a tare in the presence of the wheat at the harvest time, because eventually the master Yahweh Shai is going to say, separate the wheat from the tares. Gather the wheat into my barn and burn up the tares, man. He going to burn your ass up. If you don't fear the Lord, he going to burn your ass up, man. And brothers refuse to wake up, man. Brothers refuse to wake up. The Lord going to burn your ass up, man. He going to destroy you, bro. The Lord's going to destroy you. It says, and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. So there's one more scripture I want to bring out. This is enough. There's one more I want to bring out. And it's the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 3. It says, for consider him, it's talking about Yahweh Shai, for consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. It's about staying strong in the faith, man. You know that you're a piece of wheat. I know I'm a wheat. I'm not a tare. I'm wheat. But brothers operating in the spirit of Cain seek to undermine your presence, man. They want to undermine your presence. They want to murder you for bringing out the truth. They want to slander you. They want to kill your spirit. It says, think about Yahushai. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 3 again, it says, for consider him that endures such contradiction. You go one way, they go the other way on purpose. First you see it's through ignorance, but they go on purpose because it goes from ignorance to hearing the truth, to being convicted of it, to throwing it off. Now you willfully disobedient and the Lord is going to destroy your ass, man. That's the end of the lesson right there, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Whoever can receive it is for the hopeful elect. Shalom.